water kettle. My water kettle literally hit the beep, beep, beep. I'm done boiling, like right as the timer ran out. Hello, welcome. Couldn't find my glasses, so I have my old glasses on today. They're surely somewhere around the house. I could not tell you where they are. How are you all doing? Good morning. Is it morning? It is morning. I had a moment. Welcome, welcome. It's chengyu day. I have a book. We're gonna read it. It is in Chinese. We'll talk more about that in a moment. But I figured, you know how we were saying I wanted to do like weekly tea time streams? I was like, what if we did like tea time and yap? And so I'm like, okay, I think what I'm gonna do now that I found this book is chengyu. I don't know, I'm still noodling on the name, like chengyu chayo or something like that. Like tea time with chengyu, basically. Stretch, we just got here. Thank you for the stretch though, I need it. I need it. Oh my god. I haven't been keeping up with my yoga practice because I've just been rotting for the past month, but I'm like slowly getting back into being a normal human being now, like this week. Literally starting yesterday, and I did yoga for the first time in, like a vinyasa flow for the first time in a long time, and I don't know what muscle this is at the front right here, because these are delts, right? I don't know what this is. Are these just biceps? This line right here is so sore. And all I did was like a chaturanga high to low like 3 times in my vinyasa. Like it was like very basic stuff. And I'm sore. And actually I've been sore for 2 days. Anyway, welcome Neve, Nikki, Kelvin, Nova, Heavenly to YouTube side, and Twitch side we got Ren, Yuo, Boria Curie, Mr. Chan, New Millennial, Balance, Aurora, Triple Tauruses, Cesius, Monray, Hello Hyde, Oceanic Pears, Boria Curie. Okay, I think, Curie, Boria, I think I already said, you got 2 hellos. Welcome everyone, it's good to have you. Biceps, these are just biceps, the front here. Damn, yeah, I got no biceps. I got no biceps, I got no triceps. I have no arm strength, which maybe is why I could do like 3 vinyasas and get sore from it. It's embarrassing. However, I have lower body strength for days. Some of us are just built a little different. Okay, literally, what, 2 minutes into stream, I'm already ADHD'd out. I was saying, today will be our first installment of chengyu tea time. And I will basically bring like a tea. We'll talk about the tea a little bit. You will see some repeats, obviously, because I like want to drink the same tea multiple times. But I'll select a tea for the mood of the day, and maybe sometimes I'll come to you guys and you can help me choose one. Today I have a specific tea selected, but the idea is just I'll do a weekly like chengyu learning series and with tea on the side. So chengyu chayo is an option. Chengyu how would you say, like, is there a Chinese phrase for like a 词语 for tea time? 或者成语茶馆也可以. Like 成语 tea house, I think that'd be cute, actually. I'm kind of into that. So it's like a many birds one stone situation, because I'm like, you all have been asking me for some Chinese learning content. I need to be polishing up on my Chinese anyway. I found this old book from this is literally when I was in second grade in China. I was a second grader in China reading this book, and now I'm reading it and I'm just like, holy shit, like my Chinese abilities are not where they were when I was 7 years old in China, which makes sense. But it is fully like all of the words have pinyin on them, so I don't have to be constantly looking up words. But I will be looking up phrases that I'm not familiar with. And I figure we will just read them like line by. A lot of these stories are quite short, like just a few pages. We'll go basically line by line. I'll read it in Chinese. We'll have the pinyin up. I'll have my hand cam on. You guys can read it alongside me. And then I'll do live translation line by line. And when there are words I don't know, we'll look them up. And so it'll just be like a slow motion co-study with tea on the side. I think that'll be a nice chill vibe. I think it'll be fun. We'll keep it up for a few weeks and then just see what happens. So hopefully weekly at this time. I think I can protect my Tuesday mornings. Yeah. I know not a lick of Chinese, but I'm sticking to the stream. All right. I hope you enjoy it, Kono Cuts. Very cute Twitch username also. Welcome. Traumatic recollections of Chinese school, truly. I think a lot of your like 20s to 30s is for overcoming childhood traumas that don't serve you. Not that I'm sure any traumas serve you, but I was telling a friend recently about how I didn't even realize how traumatized I was by piano. I thought I was just like burned out by it and like didn't enjoy it anymore, and that's okay, and I'll give it some time and maybe I'll come back to it later. But when I was 25, which was 10 years after I quit, I like finished level 10 testing when I was 15, and then it just like promptly quit piano, took my hands off the keyboard, didn't touch it again for like literally 10 years. When I was 25, I decided I wanted to learn how to play Regina Spektor's Braille on keyboard and like accompany myself while singing it. And I placed my fingers on the keyboard and promptly had a panic attack. And I was like, why am I hyperventilating? What is this? Holy shit, it's a panic attack. And that was like the moment I realized that I had been traumatized by my piano experience. Like I didn't know that. I didn't fucking know that. So it's been 5 more years since then, and I still can't really, I don't have the panic attacks anymore. Like I've eased myself back into it, but it is extremely frustrating. Like, you know that feeling where you're trying to learn a skill that you're not naturally good at? Like a lot of us are naturally good at a lot of things that come to us naturally, and then there are skills that don't come to us naturally and they don't feel good to learn because you're sitting there like my brain literally, like it feels like my brain hurts. That's the kind of friction that I feel when I try to play piano now, which is why I've briefly given up and I'm picking up guitar instead, and I'm trying to practice guitar instead. So like I would rather have the friction of learning a brand new instrument than trying to relearn an instrument that I was classically trained for and thoroughly tested for. I just can't. There's like so much baggage there. Thank you, Blazing Asian, for 45 months. Thank you for the resub. I almost typed moths. That's a 3 3/4 years. I'm glad you've been around for that long. Also, here's to 45 more. I hope I will still be streaming. I think it's a very fun hobby. I don't know if I could forever keep up the pace that I have it at, which is like 2 to 3 times a week. Well, I'm aiming for 3 times a week and I can't even get there right now, right? But I think I'll be around a while. You guys can't get rid of me that easy. Unless if I ever randomly graduate out of nowhere and stop streaming, you guys will know something's up. Like some massive opportunity must have landed in my lap, but I really don't think. Either that or I started running for office again is possible. The bird painting streams got me started naming every bird I see for practice. There's a crow in front of me. I will name them Space Escalator. How are you guys literally yanking these names out of like nowhere? I don't know how you do it. That's been me with drawing. I've shifted to photography recently. It's been really nice. I like that, Jade. Yeah, photography similarly, I have blocks when it comes to photography. Like I'll go multiple years in a row and just like not have any feeling of, it's not inspiration, but rather like every photo I take just feels mediocre to me. Just entire years back to back. And then like months where it's really good, but I'm breaking out into a new VA role. I feel like if I were a VA, I would want to keep streaming though, right? Don't VAs like to keep that parallel going? I don't know, it's not every VA, but it seems popular. I feel like a lot of the VAs that I know are also streamers. If I won the lottery, I wouldn't say anything, but there would be signs. Yeah, something like that. Well, no, I feel like if I won the lottery, I would stream more. that would be the sign. Because I would have all of this free time. Like, I'd be thoroughly retired. All right, string instruments greater than everything else. I think it's, okay, so piano learning piano's very linear, right? Like every key that you look at, if it's above, like if it's to the right of the left key, then it's a higher note. And like, sure, that's true on string instruments to a certain extent, like on each string, but the way it lattices from string to string and the way you would play a scale is so different. It's taking, for me, like as a somewhat lifelong piano player, I am struggling a little. It's hard to pick up. Guitar is not coming easy to me. Might be unrelated, but in Hindi we have the exact same idiom as the thumbnail. It translates to playing a flute in front of a cow. I like that. I think a lot of these kinds of idioms translate really well to different languages, and a lot of them don't. But the one that I have on the thumbnail, which is 对牛弹琴, is like playing. A qing is just, it means like honestly, it's generic word for instrument, but they mostly mean like a specific kind of a, some people call it like a Chinese lute. It's not a lute. I don't know. It's like a string instrument. And the story is just that you're playing an instrument. You're playing music to a cow, as in like the cow is never going to understand the musicality and the expertise of your performance, and so you're wasting your time. It's like what the idiom is trying to say. But that's the one I chose for the thumbnail. It's like one of the most elementary ones you can go for, and one of the few chengyu that I have retained over these years of living as an adult in an English-speaking country where I never use my Chinese. And so I was looking through some of the chengyu in this book, and I was remarking to my mom, I was like, wow, I cannot really read this anymore, and most of the chengyu in here, like, I don't recognize, nor do I know how to use. And she was like, you know, you used to regularly use phrases like this in like conversational Chinese. And I was like, what? She was like, yeah, you were like an oddly literary kid. Like you would use chengyu that like even adults don't use. Like you talked like a poet. And I was like, I must have been really into this book, you know? Like I must have really taken it to heart and just started using these words, as kids do. Kids are really good at experimentation. So I hope I can get a little bit closer there, because honestly, I don't think people use chengyu colloquially that often. I can understand why my mom thought it was actually kind of funny that I used it a lot conversationally. But let us transition then to my hand cam. Where is it? Boom. Wakey wakey. I think, yes. All right, so first, all right, here's the book. But first we have to steep tea. So my water just boiled. I'm gonna reheat it just a touch. The tea that I've chosen for today, don't laugh at me, the container's kind of beat up. I think I've shown some of you guys this tea already. These characters just read ye cha, which means wild tea. And it's the story behind this one. I still need to make a tea haul video to go through like all the different teas that I got from my mom from her recent return from China. This one was the one that she happened to run into, like a lady. It was the laoban yang of like, she's buying like new floor tiles for the kitchen or something for our family home in Shanghai. And she was talking, while my dad was talking to the laoban, she was talking to the laoban yang. So the two owners, the couple, she was talking to the wife. And the wife was drinking this tea and invited my mom to sit down. Like, I guess clearly clocked my mom for being like a fellow tea nerd, and had her sit down to drink together, and told her that apparently the owner's wife's sister owns a tea farm in like Wuyishan area, which is where all the Wuyi rock teas come from. So if you remember that story, that's what this tea is from. So let me see if I can, here you go. This one is a wild tea from Wuyi, and it's made into a black tea instead of an oolong, which is more typical of the region, more traditional for the region, I would say. So I really like to, man, should we get fancy with it? We might as well. It's like tea time, right? Okay, let me get my like tea dispenser. Okay, so I even bought one of these like tea scoops with a little tea pick. The tea pick is sharp on one end because you use it to like stab into the tea cakes to break them up, but this is obviously not a tea cake, so I'm just gonna use my fucking hand. Tea Time Tuesdays, yeah, that's where we are. It's time for Tea Time Tuesday. So usually you would use a tea scoop like this to kind of like portion out the amount of tea that you wanted to be brewing. I got kind of a smaller one because I'm shallow and I thought this tea scoop was beautiful. So I was like, I don't care that it's a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a little bit impractical. I like her. But you're supposed to like stick it on a scale and like weigh your tea leaves out. Honestly, I'm not serious like that about my tea brewing. Well, I am, but I think what a lot of people don't realize when they first start getting to, especially Chinese teas, they're like, oh, it's so intimidating. Like there are all these different kinds of teas from so many different areas, and they all have such fancy names in Chinese that I don't understand. And I could never get into it. It seems like there's a lot of technique to the brewing, and I would fuck it up, and I would feel bad if I like did it wrong. And like any tea person worth their salt would tell you that that's bullshit. There's no right or wrong way to brew tea. There is only the way that you like to have it. And so what matters is that like you try a few different ways and then figure out how you like to brew each tea. Like there are some that are like traditionally brewed a certain way or recommended to be brewed a certain way, but ultimately it's what you like that matters. So don't let people tell you you're doing it wrong, because you're never doing it wrong. Okay. I know it has a pleasant form factor. It's aerodynamic. I know. It's got such a swoosh to it. It makes me happy. But yeah, I specifically wanted a white one also. These come in a lot of different colors. A popular format is like a bamboo scoop. But I like white porcelain for my tea brewing because I really like to see the color of what we call the tea soup, which is the brewed liquid, the tea that comes out of it. But white is especially good for seeing color, right? So this is the the color and the texture of the tea we are brewing today. Ways you can see that it's a wild tea. There's weirdnesses and I'm so bad at like word recall today. It's like inconsistently sized and shaped. Wild teas tend to often have these wider looking, like leafier looking things. But all it is like tea trees that haven't been explicitly cultivated for tea farming. But they're the same plant, they just grow in the wild is all. I find that the flavor tends to be a little bit more intense. Like there's a little more flavor going on. Oops, okay. It just goes in, now that we've admired it. And then in Gongfu style steeping, which is what you'll see most of the time in these Tea Time Tuesdays, because I'm a Gongfu style steeper, because I think it's the most ADHD friendly, but I'll talk about that more later. You just do pretty much like super hot temperatures. It doesn't have to be like super hot, super hot. I like it super hot. Super hot, super fast is the way I would think about it. Oh, let me flip this around because I'm a left-handed person. So literally I just poured the water in and it's gonna come out now. Oops, some spillage, it's okay. Sorry, I realized from that angle you actually can't see most of the pour because my hand covers it. And now it's out here. It's like very normal, especially Gongfu style, for things to spill all over the place. So don't worry too much about that. But I'll put a paper towel here for now. And then now with glass or white porcelain, it's very good for seeing the color of the tea soup. So this is literally the first steep. A lot of people throw out the first steep because it's like a rinse. I am too cheap. I'm like, no, let me drink that. Is this the wash steep? Yeah, so that's what Chwill? How do I say your username? Chwill. That's what Chwill is saying is people will call it xing cha, which is like waking the tea. First of all, if I were actually xing cha-ing, that would have taken even less time. I would have gone like water in, water out, like instantly. I let it sit a few seconds just now because I was yapping. If it were a rinse, I would not have done that. That would be such a waste. Throwing out the first steep in this economy? Exactly. Oh, and let me show you, now that these are a little bit brewed, what the leaves look like. I'm glad my phone camera is like actually very high quality for this kind of close-up. And again, the color. If you're familiar with Wee rock teas, I think what makes this tea really magical to me is that it has the Wee and Cha, Wee rock tea fragrance. They're like famous for their fragrances, but they're also famously insubstantial in that like it's very fragrance forward, not much flavor, not much body. So it's another Chinese saying, I guess, is like 绣花枕头一包草. It's like it's an embroidered pillowcase, but it's stuffed with straw. Like that's how I think about it, which I think a lot of Wee rock tea aficionados would get so mad at me for saying that, because they see the flavor as like so delicate and so complex because it's mostly in the nose, but that doesn't make it not good, right? And it's just like, for me, it's a little bit, it's just not it. It doesn't last. Also, I like to steep Gongfu style because it's, I don't know, for me, it makes the tea feel like it lasts longer. And in a Wee rock tea, which is usually made into an oolong, it's like 3 steeps later, where most teas peak on the 3rd to 4th to 5th steep. Wee rock teas are like, I'm kind of done. Like by the 6th steep, it's over. It's game over. There's no more flavor. Stop steeping. But I mentioned earlier that I like Gongfu style steeping like this because of the ADHD aspect. And the reason for that is because first of all, I like my teas hot. And when you do a Kung Fu style steep, every steep that comes out, first of all, full of flavor. Second of all, hot because it's freshly steeped. And third of all, it takes a matter of seconds to steep. So I think it's perfect because I'm very unlikely to leave it and forget it and it'll oversteep. I'm very unlikely to have steeped it and forget it and have it go cold. And even if it did, then I only lose one small cup of water and not like a whole teapot, right? So it also, I think it encourages like some mindfulness practices. Like you do have to be mindful of like the number of seconds you are steeping it and like very sensory about it. It's very vibes based, right? It's like, I feel like this steep needs to sit just a little longer. And so you'll sit here with like your hand on the cover for like just a little longer. Also, sorry, my nails are like mega short now because of guitar, but they're like ugly now. I apologize. I wanted to have cute nails, but then I also wanted to be a guitarist and you can't be both. My ADHD ass forgot IT brewing until you mentioned this. I'm glad I was able to remind you, Pears. I'm glad. Dub perspective. Norio Noodles, hello. All right, so that's our tea steep. I'm gonna set it here. And then let's start with an idiom. I don't think we have to go linearly through the book, but we can. Amusingly, when I found this book on my parents' shelf, this bookmark is the one that I used as a second grader. Like I have visceral memories associated with this. And I guess this is literally where I stopped or last paused in reading it. But there were multiple volumes of this also. And these are, by the way, the title is 3分钟成语故事. So as in like each of these stories is only supposed to take 3 minutes. Since I'm a yapper and also we're going really slow and also live translating, it's going to be closer to probably anywhere from 10 minutes to like 30 minutes per story, depending on how often we stop to chat about it. So, oh wow, look. It was page 69. Youngster me had a good eye. Okay. What we can do is jump around. Or we can start at the beginning and be really methodical. Why are words so hard for me today? What's going on? I did sleep really poorly. Maybe that's why. Okay, you can see even like the notes that my little kid self was taking. I don't know, like someone wrote 历史 here at some point. That means history. Don't know why. I must have been, maybe my memory is that I was being tutored by somebody because I like moved back to China when I was 7 and my Chinese was ass. And so my parents employed a tutor to help me get back up to speed. And I think this might have been like part of our tutoring curriculum. I'm not sure. Some of these hard English words that we use are rarely used. I feel like I like to be very specific in my wording though, so I'm usually pretty okay at recall, but I'm struggling recently. Okay. 安居乐业. We can start with 安居乐业 if we want. 按兵不动. 拔苗助长. Let's start with something really simple that I'm like already familiar with. So 拔苗助长 is one of those. And 3 is always a very good number to start with. So I don't want the book to get wet. I'm a little careful here. Okay. Let's see. 拔苗助长. Here, for our Chinese learners, here's what the characters look like. Oh, should we do a writing exercise alongside these? I think that would be cool, actually. Let me get like scratch paper out. So if you want to see stroke order for how to write these words, let me do it really large. 拔. Did I go too fast? 苗. 助. 长. My stroke order for this one might have been off. Anyway, it literally translates to pulling the sprout to help it grow. And I think you can kind of guess where this idiom is going because it's like what happens if you take like a little plant has sprouted and you're like, I'm gonna help it grow, so I'm gonna yank it higher. Like, what do you think is gonna happen? Nothing good is gonna happen. So That's it's just an idiom that means like, oh, if you are too rushed, you will spoil the point or the goal. Okay, let's read it sentence by sentence. Oh my god, this is a little light. I'm like struggling to read it. 拔高禾苗，帮助它生长。比喻违背事物发展的规律。比喻 does 比喻 just mean like as in? 强求速成，反而坏事。So that's literally what I just said in English. 拔高禾苗，帮助它生长的。First line is like to pull the 禾苗 would be specifically like in a patty, a little sprout, like a patty sprout. You're pulling it higher to help it grow. But 违背 as in messing up. So but actually what you're doing is you're messing up the development process. 发展的规律 development process. 强求速成 I did not seen this phrase before, but literally it would mean like rushing the speed and development. And so you're actually 反而坏事, you're actually ruining 事, you're just ruining things. Yes, Mr. Chan's correction is correct. Why does stroke order matter? It just helps you with the structure of the word, and once you learn a stroke order, writing Chinese becomes a lot easier. It feels really arbitrary, but it introduces process to something that might otherwise be really random or overwhelming because like Chinese words have so many strokes to them. Stroke order originates, I think, more so from like calligraphy practices, but most people follow, at least to like a 90% accuracy, most people will follow a basic stroke order. And stroke order is still procedural. Like it's pretty much left to right, top to bottom. Mostly. Okay. Good question. Here we go. One sentence at a time. I'm gonna go nice and slow. Oh, this is a little hard to... Here we go. Can you see? Okay. 据说当时宋国有一个农夫，看到自家田里的禾苗没有别人的禾苗长得高，心中十分忧虑。So, 据说当时宋国有一个农夫，农夫 would be like a farmer, right? So, a long time ago in the Song country, there was a farmer. 看到自家田里的禾苗没有别人的禾苗长得高. So he saw that his paddy sprouts didn't grow as high as other people's paddy sprouts. 心中十分忧虑. So I'm going to start looking up like formal translations for some of these words because do you guys have a favorite Chinese English dictionary? I don't really have one. I just go on Baidu. Let me see how best to translate 忧虑. Where's my Chinese keyboard? Here it is. 忧虑. Worried. You know what? Let's make a vocab list for the day. Concerned, worried, pro, welcome. 忧虑. 哎呀，我中文字母写的 ugly. I don't know the stroke order for this one actually. Is it like this? So 忧虑. Worried. Pleco on your phone. Oh, okay. Here, let me install that. Ismail, hello. Saw on Discord you found the source for the 2-column poem. Yes, I did. I'm getting a scam likely call. No. Be gone. Right as I picked up my phone too. These people freaky. Okay, let me install Pleco. App Store. Pleco? Chinese dictionary. Oh, can you handwrite things? Oh, I've seen this one before with the like yu looking. Do they support traditional and simplified? By the way, I am a simplified user. My family are mainlanders. Okay, so if we searched, let's try what I just did. 忧虑. Here we go. Oh, I like that there's like sentence examples. So 忧虑 is worry or anxiety. 无穷的忧虑 would be like endless worries. 他的忧虑不是没有根据的. His anxiety is not uncalled for. Okay, cool. Oh, you can also use it as a verb. 忧虑不安. 为孩子的前途忧虑. I see, I see. That's what my dad is feeling right now. I quit my job and now my dad 为孩子的前途忧虑. Susie's calling. Is it? Welcome. I took honors Chinese 3 and only remember a handful of words. It was not a very serious class. I heard that a lot of Chinese classes are not too serious. Okay. Should we continue circling the words we don't know? I'll use a pencil. It'll be erasable. Where's my pencil? I feel like it only makes sense to continue following the processes I used as a child. Oh my god, I haven't used a pencil in so many years. I don't think there's lead in this. Do I still own lead? There is lead in this. Why isn't it catching? Are you broken? Is it borked? Hold on. Ah! Oh my god, it's been so many years. I don't remember how to... Sometimes when I think it's stuck, I just like... Do you guys ever do this? Where you just cram it in from the front? Just to see? And then sometimes it snaps. I mean, that probably will work. One of those 4-color clicky pens. No, but I don't want to use a pen on this. Okay, let's circle 忧虑. 忧虑. And then I'll just write worried. Sorry, I'm teeny tiny because I want to erase it later. All right, get the lead out. Let's continue. 可是他又不想通过劳动来改变. Oh, but he doesn't want to fix the height. Like he doesn't want to fix this through labor. 劳动, labor. 改变 would be change. 每天就在田边苦苦思索怎样才能让自己的禾苗迅速长高. So every day, 每天就在田边, every day next to the paddy. 苦苦思索, just like painfully thinking about, or yeah, painfully thinking about 怎样 how to 才能让自己的禾苗 how to help his sprouts 迅速长高 grow fast. 日复一日 日复一日 is that like day after day? I'm learning sayings. Do you think Plico would get me? 日复一日 日复一日 Day in and day out. Day in, day out. 因为不劳动，所以自己田里的禾苗同别人的比较起来，长得更慢了。So day in and day out, because he wasn't working, 劳动 as in labor or work, 所以自己田里的therefore his paddies 禾苗 sprouts 同别人的比较起来 so compared with other people's sprouts 长得更慢了 grew slower. Even slower actually 更慢 would be even slower. And then 这个农妇心中开始焦虑起来. So this farmer in his heart, so we say 心中 as in like in his heart but also just like in his head. 焦虑 is like, how would you translate 焦虑? Deliberating? So it's a little more negative than just deliberating. Hold on. 焦虑 worried again? Or I guess we'll continue to use the word worried. 心中开始焦虑起来，不能继续这样下去了。I cannot continue like this. 必须马上 we must immediately 想到办法帮他们尽快长高。 So must immediately think of a way to help them grow immediately. So I want to call out just 他们 here. This 他 is the object 他, which is different from the others. Also, look at the comic. 臭小子又教白卷. Why does Dad look kind of gleeful about it, though? I'm glad Probe is here with the translations. Anxious? Yeah, that's maybe a good way to put it. I write the character out, but sometimes it shifts to a different one, and it's like, but I'm already pressing enter. Yeah, happens a lot in Chinese typing. All right, let's continue. 终于有一天，农夫想到了办法。I said one sentence at a time. So finally, there was a day where the farmer thought of a way, method, 办法。办法 is like, it could be idea, it could be method, it could be approach. 他急急忙忙跑到田里，把每一棵禾苗都往上拔了拔。So he hurriedly ran into the paddy and took every sprout and pulled them up a little bit. 这样整整忙碌 I actually don't know this word. 这样整整忙碌了一天，最后精疲力尽。Oh, here's another 4-word combo that gets used a lot. 精疲力尽，气喘吁吁 That's another one. 气喘吁吁的回到家里，得意的对家里人说：“今天可把我忙坏了呀！”不过一天之内，帮禾苗都长高了一大截，功夫总算没有白费。So that's a long sentence. Sorry. He was busy a whole day. And then 精疲力尽，气喘吁吁, so like super tired, like breathing heavily. He returned to his house and 得意 proudly told his family, 今天可把我忙坏了呀. Today I was so busy. Within one day, I helped those sprouts grow a whole segment, 一大截, a segment. 功夫总算没有白费, so I haven't wasted my effort. Papa, let the sprouts grow. Trust them to reach the skies themselves. Don't make them forget their roots. 他的儿子听到后，急忙跑到田里去看，发现禾苗已经全部枯死了。So after his son heard this, he hurriedly ran to the paddy, I keep saying paddy, but it's also like the fields to look, and found out that all the sprouts were already like dead. 看来违反事物的发展规律，而主观的急躁冒进。Phrases that like make sense to me once I read them, but I didn't know them before. 急躁冒进. Okay, so turns out if you disrespect or go against the process, like if you don't trust the process and you try to rush it and move forward, 是会把事情办糟的呀. This page just has a yeah. 是会把事情办糟的 yeah. So basically if you do that, if you don't trust the process and you try to rush things, you're going to ruin them. And then there's a little segment here that it's like, it's like, let's reflect. 我们可不要干拔苗助长的傻事. So let's not do so stupid things like pull the sprouts up to try to help them grow. What is this? Oh, okay. And then this is a 例句. So this is an example usage. And the example usage reads, 在孩子的教育问题上，我们不能拔苗助长，而应结合他们的身心发展规律来培养. So when we are educating children, or on the problem of educating children was the literal translation of this line, we can't 拔苗助长. And 应结合他们的身心发展规律来培养. And we instead should follow their body and heart development process. It's the literal translation of 身心发展规律. And 培养 is to cultivate. Yeah. Okay. How was that? Our first trial. 拔苗助长. Shall I read it end to end in just Chinese? Just to get, I'll do it slowly. I read slowly anyway. And then we can get a quick, I guess that'll be the 3-minute read through without the live translation. Chwill says, I only know 2 Chinese phrases and they're both related to learning. 孔子说, oh, 三人, is that 行必有我师 and 好好学习天天向上. The only one that I know of that series is like the 有朋自远方来不亦乐乎. A more nuanced translation would be develop them holistically, or for the last part of the 例句. Yes, I think develop them holistically is perfect. I went for a very literal translation just to help with the literal wording of it, but I agree. The 身心发展规律 would be, well, develop them holistically would lose the nuance of 规律, which is like process and order. So develop them holistically and like with respect to the natural order or something like that. Yeah. Okay, shall we? Ready? 拔苗助长. 据说当时宋国有一个农妇，看到自家田里的禾苗没有别人的禾苗长得高，心中十分忧虑。可是他又不想通过劳动来改变，每天就在田边苦苦思索怎样才能让自己的禾苗迅速长高。日复一日，因为不劳动，所以自己田里的禾苗同别人的比较起来，长得更慢了。这个农妇心中开始焦虑起来，不能继续这样下去了，必须马上想到办法帮他们尽快长高。终于有一天，农夫想到了办法，他急急忙忙跑到田里，把每一棵禾苗都往上拔了拔。这样整整忙碌了一天，最后精疲力尽，气喘吁吁地回到家里，得意地对家人说：“今天可把我忙坏了呀！不过1天之内，帮禾苗都长高了一大截，功夫总算没有白费。”他的儿子听到后，急忙跑到田里去看，发现禾苗已经全部枯死了。看来违反事物的发展规律而主观的急躁冒进是会把事情办糟的呀。End to end reading. Okay, there we go. That's 拔苗助长. I like that these are, I thought it might be overly childish for me, and like maybe it kind of is. But I like it. I like the feeling of being babied at the right level. That's our first one. Okay, let me look through. I'm going to give you guys a few options to choose from. 百尺竿头更进一步。百折不挠。Or班门弄斧 is the one I talked about a little bit. I use this one a lot, actually. To this day, I use it a lot. Okay, choose between 1 and 2. 百折不挠 and 班门弄斧. I know you guys have like no context if you can't understand Chinese at all, but consider those. And I'm gonna take a bathroom break. BRB. hello. I'm back. I found the Windows pinyin. What? Oh, like the keyboard? Did you guys have a preference? Oh, Probe wants... This idiom is from a book written in 200 BC. Which one? This one? 222? Yeah, the keyboard. Okay. I'm happy for you. Do you guys have a preference? Because if not, I'm just gonna... We can do both. We can get to all of them. I'm just gonna go then. I don't know this one. 百折不挠. I can kind of guess because 折 is to fold, 百 is 100, and 挠 is... I actually don't know. I had a guess, but I think I'm wrong. Okay. They do have a quick definition here, which reads... 折. Oh, 折 as in 错折. I was wrong actually from that part. 挠 is 弯曲. So 折, here, let me get a proper translation for you all. 错折. Oh my god, my Shanghainese ass thought it was 错折 this whole time. So 错折 is set back. And then 弯曲 is like curves. 拔苗助长. Oh, 拔苗助长 is from an old book. I see. What book? Okay. 比喻意志坚强，不论受多大挫折都不屈服。屈服 is also a word I'm not familiar with. 屈服。屈服。So, oh, I must use my pen. That would be bad. 屈服 is like yield. Submit. Cool. So, to translate the overall meaning, it's no matter even after hundreds of setbacks, you do not submit. So, hundreds of setbacks, no submission. It's actually really metal. Okay, let's start. I need to make sure you guys can actually see. Oh, let me take a sip of the tea. Ah! Take a sip of the tea. Cheers. Does anyone else have tea with them? Can I ask what you guys are drinking? Yeah! Okay. What tea is it? Oh, if you missed earlier our tea selection talk, this is the one I'm drinking today. It just says yecha. Sorry, that's not helpful. It's a wild tea from Wuyi. It's a Wuyi wild yancha, and it's made into a black tea rather than an oolong, which is typical of the region. Yeah. Okay. 东汉时. Wait, actually, I want to know what time period that is. 东汉. Because usually these are in reference to specific historical time periods. 东汉would be literally the Eastern Han Dynasty. Eastern Han Dynasty, 25 to 220. You have chocolate milk. No tea, but there's a doggy named Moose. Your dog's name is Moose? Oh, you're drinking jasmine green. Konakuts, I love that. Always a very solid choice. I feel like jasmine green never misses. All right. 东汉时有个名叫乔轩的人。乔玄的人。I try to read without the pinyin whenever I can, but it means I often misread. 东汉时有个名叫乔玄的人，他性情刚正。Okay. 敢于跟坏人坏事做斗争。He's a really like stand-up guy. His name is Qiao Xuan, and he's a really stand-up guy. He is brave enough to go fight bad people and like reject bad actions. 年轻时，乔玄在本县当一个小官。How would you translate 县? Valley? When he was young, Qiao Xuan in this area is like a small government official. 县 county Okay, one more time. 年轻时乔玄在本县当了个小官。So what I just said. 曾揭发过豫州陈国相杨昌的罪恶。曾揭？揭发。Oh, I see. 揭发 unmask. Or expose. So he's previously exposed 豫州. Oh my god. Start a fight. We're here to start a fight. I'm gonna start a fight. I can't type. 豫. Is this an actual like phrase, or am I misreading that? 豫. Hmm? 找到了。I think it's the province. Oh, it's an abbreviation for Henan province. Okay, it's a place. 曾揭发过豫州陈国相杨昌的罪恶。陈国相 What does any of this mean, bro? Who is that? What is that? 杨昌哎呀，不是这个昌 Is this like a person's name? And then 陈国相 is 豫州 is today Henan. Yeah, that's what I was finding from looking it up. Drop a Saturn, welcome. This is the true Chinese experience. No fancy readings, just mildly confused dictionary lookups. This is how you learn. 陈国相 is this a name? 陈国相哎呀打错了陈国相陈国 Well, if it's not showing up in the dictionary, it's probably a proper noun, right? But then what is it? What is it? 陈国相是哪个相It's a person? But why is it in the name of the official? But why is it in... But then Yang Chang is also... So it's a title? This is the title and this is the name? Yang Chang 是人名。那陈国相不也是吗？陈国相不是人名，陈国相是 title? So this is a title and this is a name? Okay. And then 罪恶 just means crime. 尽管当时有 Oh, sorry. Can you see? 尽管当时有当朝大将军梁毅的飞马传习 Dude, how was I reading this when I was in second grade? What is happening? 尽管当时有当朝大将军梁毅 Is this another name? The 飞马传习 Like messenger? Chen Guoxiang is giving like John Potato Watkins kind of nickname. Guoxiang means nation's prime minister. Oh. PM. Scam likely. Stop calling me scam likely. Oh, it's probably my food delivery actually. That's okay. 传 袭. 传习 is like a war proclamation. War proclamation. This is like deep history crap. These calls are getting worse. Yeah, I actually think this one, I mean, I get a good like 6 calls a day on average, but I think the one I just got was for like our big building's main door. But it's okay, they can just leave it outside. Okay, one more time. 尽管当时有当朝大将军梁毅的飞马传习, so I think they're still talking about this guy. I think so, they're still talking about Qiao Xuan. The subject of the sentence is not clear, but at the time, he was 朝大将军梁毅's all these like title name, like messenger of war. 有皇帝的圣旨下诏, so he had like the emperor's. Oh my god, how do you translate any of this? Like his directives, his heavenly directive? 圣旨下诏. Is there a way to translate that? 圣旨. Imperial edict? 圣旨是哪个旨啊？忘了。怎么找都找不到呢？哦，有了，圣旨下诏。Yeah, imperial edict. The issuing, so the 圣旨 is the imperial edict, and the 下诏 is the issuing of it. So issuing. Oh my god, I'm just gonna write all these down. Imperial edict. Issuing. 有皇帝的圣旨下诏，但当朝 yes 当朝 this dynasty or that dynasty 大将 is like commander, is that right? General is better than commander. 大将军 general. 梁毅 I guess would be the guy's name. Okay, so at the time he was the general's like war messenger and had the emperor's imperial edict or was helping to issue the emperor's imperial edict. Yeah, in a children's book. This is how we were raised, okay? 在乔玄的坚持下，最终使杨昌受到应有的惩罚. So, that's actually really unclear. Who has the imperial edict? Who's doing the messaging? Is it the bad guy? Wait, like, hold on. 年轻时，乔玄在本县当一个小官，曾揭发过豫州陈国相杨昌的罪恶。尽管当时有当朝大将军梁毅的飞马传习，有皇帝的圣旨下诏，但在乔玄的坚持下。Okay, so 陈国相杨昌 had like all of the government backing basically, but because 乔玄坚持 like how do you translate 坚持? Because 乔玄 had grit because he kept going, because he held on. What is 坚持? 坚持 persist, because he persisted. Oh, I'm learning how to translate these words better also. That's good. 在乔玄的坚持下，最终使杨昌受到应有的惩罚. So Yang Chang had like all this government backing, but because Qiao Xuan was like very persistent, he still managed to uncover his crime and get him the appropriate punishment. Oh my god. How was I reading this when I was 7? I swear to God. Okay. For all intents and purposes, there's no need to link it to a story. It's because it's easier for children to remember and correlate so that it's more engaging. Yeah, exactly. Well, a lot of these four-word Chinese idioms they do come from stories. Not all of them, but many of them. I would say most of them come from a story. In 2nd grade, I think we were still reading about Sun Wukong. I mean, we were literally reading Journey to the West, right? Like we were reading 西游记 in 2nd grade. And then rereading it later on, we could understand it better. I think they were like children's versions of 西游记 we were reading back then. Okay. 翰林第十 So this is like during this emperor's reign. 乔玄为尚书令 So he got appointed this title. 那时太中大夫葛生仗着同汉灵帝的旧交情这句话什么意思？那时太中大夫葛生仗着 Hold on. I often have to guess which of these words even go together because I've never even heard these words before. Is 葛生 a thing, or is 生仗, or is it all three of them? 葛 Is that tone right? I've never seen this word used with that tone. This one. Literally what? Oh, 葛 and 葛 if in the third tone is a surname. What? 仗着身仗着葛生 So then is 葛生 a name? And then 仗着 is to rely on? Is this guy's name is Sheng? What? Okay. Well, so far we have seen the title name pattern repeat, so this is the same thing again. Okay. What's 交情? Keep going. One phrase at a time. Lean into the feeling of not knowing. 交情 is friendship or friendly relations. I'll just write friendship, it's shorter. We're all struggling together. John Potato Watkins! It's my first time hearing 葛 as pronounced 葛 in third tone when used in surface. What does surface mean? Okay. 那时太中大夫葛生仗着同汉灵帝 What is the 同 doing here? Like towards? 汉灵帝的旧交情 Okay, so this 葛生 guy was depending on 汉灵帝 the emperor's old friendship. 大肆收贿赂 Oh, there's a lot of words I don't know here. 大肆 What's that? Is that a 大肆 is unrestrained. Show. And then 贿赂 Oh, bribe! It means bribe! I just realized this dumbass angle you can see of my face in the reflection of the... Okay, sorry. Very fun. 贿赂 is bribe. Got it. Perfect. 同就是和 OK 那我就那样想吧同 as in with Okay. Oh wow, this is so much harder than the last one. 大肆收受贿赂 收受 would be just to... Is that an actual 词语 or is it two words set... why did I drop my phone like that? That was fucking weird. Is this an actual saying? Like an actual 词语收受 真的 to receive I've never heard that or never noticed it. Received. Okay, so 乔玄为尚书令 and then this 葛生 guy was depending on the emperor's old friendship and unrestrainedly received bribes. we got there. We decoded the passage. A big rock rolls to reveal the entrance to a hidden cave. Okay. 搜刮民财这什么意思？搜刮为什么有那么多我不懂的词语？我真的有那么笨吗？是真的有那么笨？没办法，在美国长大的就这个样子。Okay, extort. Oh, I see. So if 搜刮 is extort, then 民财 is like the wealth of the people, right? Okay. Oh yeah. 撕破了。I'm so sorry. How did that happen? Oh no. It is old paper. It probably just folded in a bad way just now. Should I tape it? Is it gonna bother me? Okay. 荼毒百姓. 荼毒 must have a good translation, right? Like take advantage of? Hold on. Or like leeching? 荼毒. Suffering. 荼毒 is to torment. And 百姓 is like the commoners. So, okay. Basically, he's doing all this bad stuff. He's taking bribes, he's extorting the wealth of the people, and he's tormenting the commoners. 乔玄掌握情况后，掌握 is like to have a handle on or to understand. 情况 is the situation. So understanding the situation. 上书揭发这件事情. So as like for his work, basically he like accepted this task. 结果汉灵帝不仅没有治葛生的罪，反而给他升了官。Oh, in the end, the emperor not only didn't I guess like incriminate or like declare that this guy's a criminal. Not only did he not make him a criminal, the emperor also promoted him. So 乔玄一气之下托病辞职回了老家. So he was like our good guy of this story. 乔玄 was so mad about this that he quit and went home. Torment not the commoners, fair lord. What level is this supposed to be? Sora, this was when I was 7 years old, this was the book that I was reading. And you can tell it's for really young children because it has all of the pinyin on it. Because usually by like 3rd or 4th grade, you don't need the pinyin. It's not a thing. Yeah, 7. I was a little ahead of my class though back then. I went from behind to ahead like really fast. It was because I really like to read. So I just kind of switched from reading English novels to like Chinese books when I was there. So the 1 year that I spent in China in 2nd grade, I pulled ahead. So I don't know if I don't think this was ahead of me though. Like just based on the pinyin alone, I think this was really I think it was like age appropriate for me at the time. I guess by historical standards, 7-year-olds should be memorizing analects and classics. Yeah, exactly, Sora. Precisely. 后汉书乔玄传还记载着这样一件事情。记载 would that like be to record? 记载 to record or account. Yes, perfect. That would be a good word for me to learn. So I think they're citing a book here that's like Qiao Xuan's story. And it records a story like this and happening like this. 那是在乔玄还在京城任职的时候，一次他的10岁的儿子正在家门口玩耍。I need to make sure you guys can still see it on screen. 突然出现3个强盗，将孩子劫持， 并冲到乔玄的家里勒索财物。Oh, okay, so while he was still serving in like Jingchen, like in the capital, one time his 10-year-old son was playing in front of the house, and then suddenly there were 3 robbers. 劫持 is that like just to restrain, or hold on, let me see. 劫持 it's something bad. Kidnap. They kidnapped his kid. And then they broke into his house. And how would you translate 勒索? I don't know this word. 勒索. Extort again? Blackmail? I mean, I assume they were just taking his stuff, right? 当地守备杨球等人闻讯赶来，带兵包围了强盗，但因为the 守备杨球 is this a name? 杨球 is 守备 a title? I'm gonna see if it's a title. The garrison, the guard. The guard and garrison. So I guess Yang Qiu was just the guy's name. 当地守备杨球等人闻讯赶来. So when the news arrived to the garrison, he brought soldiers to surround the robbers. 但因为顾忌孩子的安全, I've never seen 顾忌 used like this. What does it translate to? 顾忌. Misgiving. So like again, it's another word. We've had many words for worry come up today. 但因为顾忌孩子的安全, but because of worrying about the child's safety, 迟迟不敢动手抓人. They're like afraid of going to actually catch. They have the robbers surrounded, but they don't want to go in and like actually arrest them. 正在双方僵持不下，僵持这字我还从来没僵持 refuse to budge. Deadlock. 僵持不下的时候, so they're like reaching sort of the peak of the deadlock. 乔玄大声喊道：“这些强盗无恶不作，祸害百姓，难道仅仅因为我自己的孩子就把他们放走吗？” So he like right as the deadlock is reaching like a limit, the limits of the deadlock, 乔玄 yells out, these robbers do all kinds of evil. They hurt the commoners, but just because of my kids, we're gonna let them go. And then, 在乔玄的再三催促下，杨球等人率领士兵发动进攻，杀死了强盗。但是乔玄的孩子也因此被强盗所害. So after he yelled that out, the garrison was like, ah, damn. So they was like, you're right. And they sent the guards in and they killed the robbers, but the kids were also hurt because of this. 坚毅果断的精神所感动. How does this phrase break up? Is it 坚毅果断? Or okay, let me try. 坚毅 is 坚毅 a phrase, or am I making that up? 坚毅 no, it's real. 坚毅 firm and persistent. And then how would you translate? Isn't 果断 also the same translation? Wow, I'm like slowly realizing that a lot of Chinese sayings are like, yeah, this is like resolute and decisive. Okay, so firm and decisive. 精神 would be like energy. Bro, how would you translate 精神 actually? Let's see. I would spirit? Maybe spirit? Let me see. I can't type. 精神 vitality, drive, spirit. Yeah, I'm gonna go with spirit for 精神. So anyways, everybody was moved by his firm and decisive spirit is how I would translate that sentence. Yeah. 果断 is more like decisive. Yeah. Okay. 所害 is murdered? Oh, I thought it just meant hurt. 所害 is explicitly murdered? Oh my god, the kid died. F's in chat for the kids. Cerise, welcome. Hello. Yeah, Monray, I also thought 所害 was just injured. I didn't know they died. The story to teach kids is really wild. Even was surprised when I told them that the country I was born, people showed friends to kids to teach them English. Bruna, do you see why I was surprised now? Okay. 乔玄去世的时候，家中没有留下什么遗产. So when 乔玄 died, he didn't leave that much like inheritance. 殡葬也极为简单. So his burial was also very simple. 曹操? Bro, 曹操 mentioned. This is like a famous Chinese historical figure. He was like the famous military strategist. Anyways, 曹操经过乔玄墓的时候, so when 曹操, the famous military strategist, passed by 乔玄's grave, 曾经共进的致祭. What is 致祭? 致祭. 致祭之祭之祭之祭之祭之祭致祭之祭致祭之祭之祭之祭之祭致祭之祭之祭之祭，这是什么？找到了，致祭。Okay, 致 is to extend, and 祭 is memorial. Oh my god, there's no space. Why did they print it into the spine like that? Okay, basically Cao Cao went and like paid respects. 东汉文学家蔡邕 is a person, I guess, 还写了太尉乔玄悲颂. Yeah, so like a literati. How do you pronounce that word actually in English? How do you say it? Literati? Okay. Well, anyways, a literati guy named Cai Yong wrote like I think a poem about him. 赞扬乔玄有百折不挠，临大节而不可夺之风。临大节而不可夺之风。What does that mean? But I guess in this poem it coined the 百折不挠 saying that we are reading about right now. 意思是乔玄做事勇往直前，坚毅果断，在重要的原则问题上面能够始终坚持自己的立场和意志，毫不动摇。Cao Cao pressed F in front of his grave. That's such a good translation, Probe. Good time zone, EPSN, welcome. Oh my god. Okay. So this guy, Cai Yong, wrote a poem. In the poem, it included this line, which is by 折不挠。临大节而不可夺之风 is like describing 乔玄 as like using the 百折不挠 saying. But what is 临大节? 而不可夺. What does 临大节而不可夺之风 even mean? If I Google it, will it give me something? 临大节而不可夺. 临大节而不可夺. I see it in like a... That's 文言文. Oh. Okay, 文言文 alert. I see. Yeah, that would take a lot longer of a deep dive. Basically, the latter half of this sentence is like... How do you explain 文言文? Ancient Chinese literature / philosophy. And the words are really... It's like reading old English texts, and the words like kind of mean different things than how we use them now. So I'm not gonna read too deep into that. But there's a translation here, which is like they go 意思是 as in like this means that 乔玄 does things in a very direct, like straightforward way. He is firm and decisive, and in important on questions of like 原则, would that be like ethics? Like on questions of ethics and morality, will always hold on to his moral compass unshakingly. You cannot find it in a dictionary. Yeah, I'm seeing it in like 国学大师 has like an explainer article for it, and I don't want to read that shit, so you can't make me. No, nobody's making me. But thank you, Pro. Okay. 回味屋在困难与挫折面前退缩就永远不会成功. So the reflection box is saying, if in front of difficulties, did 挫折 get translated earlier? Let me try that. 挫折. Oh, I think we translated that earlier. 挫折 is like setbacks. So if in front of difficulties and setbacks you back away, then you'll never succeed. All right. Flashbang with Chinese School War flashbacks. That's what we're doing today. I was like, I really need to force myself to study Chinese. How can I do it? I'll do it on stream. Move fast and break things. I don't know, Bria. I don't know if we should be following that Facebook philosophy. Okay, here's an example usage. So, 当你选择好最高的顶峰，选择好攀登的路线后，就需要有坚定不移的决心，百折不挠的勇气。When you have chosen the highest peak, and chosen your path to climb it, then you have to have steadfast, unmoving commitments. And then 百折不挠 is our phrase here. 百折不挠, courage. So in 100 setbacks, you do not fold. Yeah. I can't even write my own name confidently after 2 decades of not writing Chinese. I feel you so much. Sometimes I try to write my name and my brain glitches out. I'll try to translate 临大节而不可夺. 临大节而不可夺. Probe would translate that to in front of issues with major principles, he will not bend. Okay, let me just write that down as a probe note. In front of major issues, he will not bend. I should work on my handwriting. This is like illegible. 大节 means great adversities. I guess in this case, the way probe translated it, 大节 was major issues. Yeah. All right. Should I try an end-to-end reading? I think I might have an aneurysm, but I'll try. Okay. I'll do my best. 百折不挠。东汉时有个名叫乔轩的人，他性情刚正，
敢于跟坏人坏事做斗争。年轻时，乔玄在本县当一个小官，曾揭发过豫州陈国相杨昌的罪恶。尽管当时有当朝大将军梁毅的飞马传檄，有皇帝的圣旨下诏，但在乔玄的坚持下，最终使杨昌受到应有的惩罚。汉灵帝时，乔玄为尚书令，那时太中大夫葛升仗着同汉灵帝的旧交情，大肆收受贿赂，搜刮民财，荼毒百姓。乔玄掌握情况后，上书揭发这件事情，结果汉灵帝不仅没有治葛升的罪，反而给他升了官。乔玄一气之下托病辞职，回了老家。《后汉书·乔玄传》还记载着这样一件事情，那是在乔玄还在京城任职的时候，一次他的10岁的儿子正在家门口玩耍，突然出现3个强盗，将孩子劫持，并冲到乔玄的家里勒索财物。当地守备杨球等人闻讯赶来，带兵包围了强盗，但因为顾忌孩子的安全，迟迟不敢动手抓人。正在双方僵持不下的时候，乔玄大声喊道：“哎呀，累死我了 ！OK， 这些强盗无恶不作，祸害百姓，难道仅仅因为我自己的孩子就把他们放走吗？”在乔玄的再三催促下，杨球等人率领这个到怎么 How does this break up? I don't know. 杨球等人率领士兵发动进攻，杀死了强盗，但是乔玄的孩子也因此被强盗所害。当时人们都把乔玄勇往直前、坚毅果断的精神所感动。Okay. Oh my god, almost there. Okay. 乔玄去世的时候，家中没有留下什么遗产，殡葬也极为简单。曹操经过乔玄墓的时候，曾经共进的致祭。Or as Probe said, Cao Cao went to press F to pay respects in front of 乔玄 's grave. 东汉文学家蔡邕还写了《太尉乔玄悲颂》，赞扬乔玄有百折不挠，令大节而不可夺之风。意思是乔玄做事勇往直前，坚毅果断，在重要的原则问题上面有能够哪里读来的？在重要的原则问题上面能够始终坚持自己的立场和意志，毫不动摇。Oh my god, my brain hurts, bro. It was hard. Long story short, after all of these stories, like, bro was just really, 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 really steadfast. Like, he meant business. And that's what 百折不挠 means and comes from. It's like a poem that was written about this guy, about how in a million setbacks, he doesn't give up. I'm kind of like, yeah, but he quit his job. But I guess they're using that as like I submitted my resignation because this went against my moral principles kind of a way, rather than like I quit my job and left. That's a sad story. I also learned it today. Okay, bro. I'm glad we are all learning something together today. He got rage baited. I mean, I think there's the he's got rage baited narrative, but then there's also the he quit a really fancy government job that gave him a lot of money and power and respect because he didn't agree with the morals
of the administration he served. So like he did what these Trump administration goons cannot do. I think from that perspective, I agree. I agree that it's a 百折不挠 mindset. Can we get some Fs for Qiao Xuan? Let's get some Fs for Qiao Xuan in the chat. Yeah. He's a non-corrupt government official. He's standing on principle. You know what? 百折不挠 I think carries that standing on principle. I think standing on principle is actually a very good, like, steadfast in the face of setbacks and standing on principle. Here, let's write our own translations. Steadfast despite setbacks. That kind of rhymes. Standing on principle. Was that Sakura Starburst? I'll quote you. Standing on principle, says Sakura Starburst. What now? Oh my god. These scam texts are getting more and more advanced. They're like trying to pretend like they're a oh, I can just expose these numbers, who cares? They're pretending to be Bank of America and they're like, oh, you're transferring $18,000. I'm like, first of all, I don't even have that much fucking cash in my savings account. First of all, what money? Anyway. Bro, these scams. Connotation more than definition. Yeah. Let's add the word connotation there, just to be clear. Yeah. Mamma mia. Yeah, we wish we had that much fucking money, bro. That much fucking cash. I should have meant. I do have enough in other liquid assets to sustain me for at least a year, thankfully. Okay. Cool. I literally, like, I'm not even exaggerating. My head hurts. Tea break, guys. We're only on second steep. Ow. Oh my god, I'm so sore. My poor biceps. Bro, it's day 2. I should not be this sore. This is embarrassing. Oh. Why? Oh, it's my friend. Hold on. I'm actually gonna pick this up. 1 second. I was like, my friend's name is Shin. I was like, hey Shin, I'm on stream. Can I call you back? And they were like, no. They were like, I need your birthday right now. They're booking Not Scary Farm tickets for us. So, wow, so on top of it. Oh, I would have missed it entirely. Oh my god. I'm excited. I'm excited for Not Scary Farm. Maybe I'll drive down. My head hurts. Yeah. She was dead ass like, no, I need your birthday now. And then I was like, oh, you're doing me a favor and I need to actually thank you for this. May I have the name of this book? Yeah, I think you may find better options, but this one is called 三分钟成语故事. And I guess the English title is Fun with Chinese Idioms, although I don't really know why they would include an English title for that. All right, let me do my second steep. I just have a thermos here, so I don't have to reheat. The thermos does have the water not quite at boiling, so I can afford to let it sit like another second or so. And then here, I'm gonna do a hamburger pour this time. You guys can see it a little better that way. When was this written? Probably in like the 90s. Cause I was a second grader in 2002. Let's see. Oh, this is first edition print 2003. Give birthday, give thanks later, no refunds. Exactly. 3 minutes, more like 30. I mean, I think it's 3 minutes if you have like a patient parent next to you who's in this case our patient parent is Probe. I'm so glad he's here today. Thank you, Probe. Oh, Probe and I are doing a collab stream later this week. I didn't actually check to see how he responded to my message. Let me go look really quick. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we're gonna do a collab stream. Either one or both of us are gonna stream it. It'll be, for my local time, it'll be Friday. For his local time, it'll be Saturday. Yeah, we're gonna play Peak. I really wanted to. Probe's already played it a bunch solo, but never co-op, and I haven't tried Peak at all. I've just seen a lot of it. We need to continue Bokura, it's true, but allow us to let our ADHD take hold for a moment and play Peak instead. I actually don't think Probe has ADHD. I do, though. Filipino number? Wait, was the scam number earlier a Filipino number? Is that what plus 63 is? Okay. Let's go. Bro, that actually, I was so focused and studying so hard just now, my head still hurts. We're gonna do a standing stretch, guys. I haven't done this on stream in a while. This is one of my favorite reset stretches, right? Oh, you guys are gonna get to see a little bit of the waist. Reach for the ceiling, inhale, and reach for your toes, exhale. And let your head hang heavy. Oh my god, the forward fold helps my head a lot because it helps the blood go that way. The yeast. Okay, I'm gonna have some chalky. We're gonna replenish the blood sugar. More sips of tea, and then we're gonna do a third one. How is this working for y'all? This is really working for me. I'm like actually studying. And I think what will help additionally is to make like flashcards after for the like 墨生字 and 词语 that I didn't recognize. Should we make flashcards at the end of every stream to like review? I think we should. I think that's a good way. I think the key to language learning is like persistent review. Very well. Glad. I'm glad. Hi Ying, are you winning? Sammy is welcome. I don't know if I'm winning. I feel like I'm getting my ass beat actually. Flashcards help so much. Flashcards are like my #1 study tool. They're so good for kanji learning too. This is detracting from my actual Chinese homework. Wait, what actual Chinese homework do you have? Which oshi are you using to help with flashcards? I think for flashcards, I will use Lilia Van Rouge. I feel so big brain studying my Japanese vocab while learning what I can from this. Oh, wait. Oceanic, studying Japanese while studying Chinese at the same time is really painful though. How are you doing that? Because the kanji gets really confusing. What's the strat? You have to repeat something 18 times before it gets committed to memory. I don't know. I feel like I reach a point where a flashcard is obviously not doing much anymore. And then I retire it. I make a retired flashcards pile. And then I revisit the retired pile like once in a while at a lesser frequency. And then I think the long-term revision aspect of that helps encode it into your long-term memory properly. And if I reach for the long-term pile and I find that I like straight up don't remember, then I reinsert it into the short-term revision pile. So like my flashcards it's always been like a long-term and short-term split. I've never searched up these words and just guessed it, so I learned the more specific meaning. Yeah, exactly. Same. Spaced repetition. Exactly, Jade. Well said. Good summary. Okay, guys, are you ready for one of my favorite? This is one of the few chengyu that I actually use all the time because you see it so often. This is a Twitter relevant chengyu. This is a Twitter relevant chengyu. It will come in handy every day. What this chengyu actually says, it's an embodiment of the Dunning-Kruger curve, okay? Hear me out. Because 班门弄斧 is the story of some shit-ass apprentice/kid who doesn't know what the hell they're doing, trying to show off in front of the masters. And so whenever you see a mansplainer in somebody's Twitter replies going like, have you read this in this paper? Clearly you don't know what you're talking about. And then the OP is like, I wrote that paper. that Twitter reply is that person 班门弄斧, okay? That's what this chengyu is. You're welcome. This is why I use this chengyu all the time, is because I see it in action on twitter.com, or rather X, formerly known as Twitter. What's the Dunning-Kruger curve? Oh, here, let me get you a visual aid for the Dunning-Kruger curve, okay? Dunning-Kruger. You will understand. Here we go. It's from the Wikipedia Commons. I'm gonna pull it onto stream for y'all. Okay. Do we see this? Oh, hold on. Let me move it. Oops. Oh my god, what have I done? I just wanted to put it under chat. What have I done? I lost it. I think it worked though. I lost the image. I don't know where it is. Oh, I accidentally moved it into one of my folders. Okay, I fixed it. Here we go. Here's the Dunning-Kruger curve. So the basic idea of the Dunning-Kruger curve is that when you don't know anything, you have a lot of confidence. Now, again, at the very beginning, you don't know anything and you have very low confidence because you know that you don't know anything. But then you learn a little bit and you shoot all the way up to the peak of Mount Stupid because you're like, I know a little bit now, and you know just enough to know that you know a little bit, but you don't know enough to know all of the stuff you don't know. And so the peak of Mount Stupid is where all of the 班门弄斧 Twitter replies are. They know a little bit and they think they know everything when actually they don't know shit. They don't know shit. And then you learn a little bit more and suddenly you realize how little you know. And so you fall into the valley of despair. But slowly and surely, as you gain more knowledge, you start to climb the slope of enlightenment towards the plateau of sustainability, where you actually know quite a lot and you also have confidence in your knowledge because now you know how much you know and how much you don't know. And you have a general, actually accurate sense of your level of knowledge. So this is the Dunning-Kruger curve. And this is, to me, the peak of Mount Stupid. That is today's Chinese idiom, which is 班门弄斧. So now you know. I can't believe you would dox my location like this. Oh, Sammy's didn't like flashcards. I can respect that. I mean, it all comes down to mindset, really. Flashcards work really well for me once I get over the initial peak of Mount Stupid feeling, I guess. I see it in places outside of Twitter as well. Oh, absolutely. It's always out in the world. It happens everywhere. I just see it the most in Twitter replies. Yeah. Okay. Here we are. Now we are going to read 班门弄斧. I think I am somewhat recovered. I'm going to do a third steep and then we're going to read. Maybe I'll reboil. I'm actually still, you know the like tired brain feeling, but you actually feel it kind of in the base of the back of your neck? Or like the base of the back of your head where it connects with your neck. Like there's like a tension there. It's like literally, that's what I feel right now. Why does it hurt? What apps do I use for flash? I use physical flashcards. I don't like apps. I don't like using my phone to study because my ADHD is too dangerous. I will end up on Twitter. I will end up on Twitter cussing out idiots. So I need physical flashcards. Yeah, I just use I always have index cards at home. What do the individual words mean? So this is a case where 班门弄斧 cannot be translated individually because, I mean, you kind of can. So 班 is the name of the expert. 门 is his door. 弄斧 is using the forge. You're using the forge in front of the expert. Working the forge in front of the expert. Okay, I'm gonna wait for the thing to boil because it's making noise in the back. Distractible weenie. Exactly. I think physical flashcards are really the way to go. Honestly, there's no other way that works. Maybe while we wait, we can work on some flashcards. Hold on. Where are my flashcards? Where'd I keep them? Maybe they're over here. Oh, I have a desk outside also. They might be there. Okay. Give me just a minute. I'll go grab them. This is so cursed. I went to grab my flashcards and I found a note that my ex left me in there. Just got triggered live on stream. He hid a note. He hid a note in the flashcards. I like pulled one off and the second one had... I'm not gonna shame him live on stream, but I'm holding it here. You can see the corner of it. You can see one word. Here, let me slowly inch it. You. That's the one word I'll show you guys. I know it's diabolical. Chest Mimic and Bunny Cat, welcome to chat. Steep it! Burn it, steep it, bop it. You have chat's full permission to throw it. I'll be okay. I'll just put that away somewhere. I wasn't expecting the jump scare today, but it is what it is. He did tell me he hid a bunch of notes around the house. It's just that I thought I had found them all months ago. I didn't think there was still one I hadn't found yet, so that's unfortunate. Anyway, let's make some flashcards. Disintegrated in the teeth. Okay. Well, let's start. I think the obvious flashcards would be the... I don't need one for Ba Miao Zhu Zhang personally. But let's do You Lu. Oh, I'd like to cut these in half actually. One second. Look at my left. You guys like my left-handed scissors? They're shaped. The curvature is for left-handed people. Fold one of these for a reference line and then cut down the middle. Don't ruin perfectly good tea like that. Disintegrate it in the toilet. Alright. I love how vindictive you guys are. Like, I didn't even say it was a bad breakup. You guys just heard breakup and you guys were like, flush it! Funny. Oh, that wasn't very good cutting, but it's okay. Perfection is the enemy of progress. Okay, let's do You Lu. Oh man, my handwriting is so bad, but again, just doing what I can. You Lu. And then I think I will hide the pinging on the back. So it's You Lu, and it means worried. Anxiety. Because it's a noun and a verb. Noun and verb. Okay, I hope it doesn't bleed through. Oh, it does. It bleeds through a little bit, but it's not too bad. Okay. My handwriting's better than yours? Really? I find that hard to believe. Okay. I guess there's also 焦虑. Let's do 精疲力尽. Or... yeah? Okay. 精疲 力尽 精疲力尽 is like with expending much effort or something like that. I think for me this is more about the 精疲力 jin. It's more about the pinyin than it is about the. It's actually kind of hard to read because of the markers bleeding through so much. Jin pi li jin. Okay. I actually might not need that one very much because I'm gonna be able to read it. And then what did we have from this one? Oh, we had a lot from this one. Let's do 揭发. Oh god. Why is the fa so big? I fucked it up. 揭发. 揭发, and it means to expose. My English handwriting might actually be worse than my Chinese handwriting. And what else do we have? 坚持. 坚持 is one of those words where like Actually, I'm realizing, what if I want to do the flashcards the other way? Like, what if I wanted to look at 忧虑 and then be like, do I know how to write it? You know, to be honest, I'm not too worried about Chinese writing because we just type everything nowadays. And with typing, as long as you can read the word, you can type. Because you type the pinyin and then the word suggestions show up. And then if you can read the word, then you can identify the one you need to select out of the menu. So I think it's okay. I think I just need to do it this way. So this is 揭发, and this is 精疲力尽, and this is 忧虑. Okay. 坚持. It's weird because it's such a basic word, but I don't know that I would be able to write it for you or even identify that word for you. Yeah, let's learn the word for bribe. Why not? 贿赂. It might be kind of antiquated Chinese, but I think it's fun. 贿赂. The bigger the fa, the more money you will get. You're right. Bribe. And then 记载. God, 载 is gonna be hard to do in Sharpie. 记载. Record. Oh, I was steeping tea. We'll come back to this. All right. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ah, ah. Fa Mulan. That's a different fa. In Mandarin Chinese, it's hua. Oh. And then I'm pretty sure I forget how to write 99% of the words I know. It's part of the process. It's okay. Your English handwriting look pretty good. It can't get really messy unless you're writing in cursive. My cursive is actually pretty good. I'm actually quite proud of my cursive writing. Have you ever bribed someone, Ying? It's a good question. I'm sure I have. I'm sure I offer my friends bribes like all the time. Unless you mean a government official, in which case no, because that's illegal. Even if I had, I would never admit that on stream. It would be like, for legal purposes, this is a joke. Caramel Johnson jump scare. All right, you guys ready for our third story? Adventures, welcome. Hello, I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. I think the difficulty with any language learning content is that it's hard to match someone's like skill level. But I think that this is the perfect skill level for anyone who's been studying Chinese for a while and or is like Chinese diaspora and looking to revitalize their Chinese ability. Reawaken their latent Chinese soul. Got a scam call just now. This scammers, they're going crazy out there. They're going crazy out there. Okay, let's continue. 班门弄斧. All right, so 班 is indicating 鲁班.
And 鲁班 is his name. He's a 古代的能工巧匠. Basically like a craftsman. 在鲁班门前舞弄斧头. So in front of 鲁班's door, you're like flashing your 斧头, like your forge hammer, something like that. 比喻在行家面前卖弄本领. How come the more I say that, the more it feels like a fake word, even though I literally know what that means? 你有本领吗? 本领. But the more I say 本领, it sounds fake. It's like when you say the word bowl too many times. Bowl. 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 Bowl, 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 bowl. It stops feeling like a real word. 自不量力. So yeah, just like trying to show off in front of the masters is all it means. All right. 采石江边一堆土，李白之名高千古。来来往往一首诗，鲁班门前弄大斧. So that was a poem just now. If you noticed that it rhymed. I'm not translating that. Fuck you. We're moving on. 这是明朝梅之焕写的题李白 wait, what? 题李白牧诗 What does 题 mean here? 这是明朝梅之焕. 梅之焕 is the person's name, I assume. Basically, someone wrote this poem about... Oh, T as in about. So someone wrote this poem about... Wait, am I right? About Li Bai's grave poem? What's a 牧诗? It sounds like a marble bouncing on a tiled floor. Bo, the anime? I actually never watched it, Samuels. Anyway, 李白字太白，人称李谪仙，是唐代伟大的诗人. They're just like, who is Li Bai, and explaining who he is. He's a famous poet from Tang Chao. He actually is probably the Tang Chao poet. 采石江边是传说中李白坠水奇经。坠水奇经 What does that mean? 坠水 We got no results found out here. 坠水奇经 Is that not a forward saying? So it's not. So I should separate them. I can't even, my keyboard doesn't even know how to... Am I dividing it wrong? Okay, let's just look up 坠 first. 坠 here is this one. Oh. To fall or drop? Or way down? T means he wrote the poem in front of his grave. Oh! So it wasn't about. In front of. Interesting. Okay. So this 坠 just means to fall. And then is 奇经 like a word? Yeah. 不对。奇经没有这儿词。找到了。Literally riding the whale? Is that the story of how he turned it? What? Wait, there's a story of Li Bai falling into the water, riding a whale, and becoming a god? Why is this the first time I've heard of it? Yeah, wait, this is actual mythology? People think Li Bai is a xian? Is that a thing? What? Hold on. I'm just gonna write, bro, what? He became a god? Riding a whale? I did not know about this. What? Okay, sure. So, anyway, 采石江边 is the like 采石江边 is the opening line of this poem, and it's talking about how apparently Li Bai fell into the water, rode a whale, and ascended to godhood. Sevius, why is Li Bai? You did in fact ask why he was white. Yeah, it does sound like the guy that got swallowed by a whale. We're all learning a lot today. Okay. Oh, Maria, hello! Finally caught you live. How are you? Can't stay long, need a shower. Oh, going to Rome to see the Stray Kids concert. Have fun at the Stray Kids concert. Thanks for stopping by and resubbing. And happy, how many months? 3 months. Happy 3 months. I appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the concert tomorrow. Let us know how it goes. Rest well. My grandma turned into a bird and flew away vibe. All right, if I die, that's how I want to go. 因此出现了不少的名胜。有李白墓，有谪仙楼，有卓越亭等等。Okay, so basically at this location, there's a lot of like famous places such as Li Bai's grave, whatever the heck 谪仙楼 is like a building, and then 卓越亭 is like a ting would be like a gazebo. Anyways, lots of famous places. And then, why does 班门弄斧 start with a 李白 poem? I'm so confused. Okay, we'll see where they're going. 因为李白被人们所爱戴，这里逐渐地成了哦，读会了。OK， 逐渐的成了旅游胜地。What does 逐渐 mean? 逐渐，我们来加个词语 gradually by degrees. Gradually. 好，现在就做。哎呀，逐渐。哦，渐 as in like 渐变的渐。Understood. Okay. So this word is holding the gradually. 逐渐。Oh, I can't write today. 谪仙 谪 means demotion. 谪仙 is like a demoted deity. What? Demoted? How do you get demoted? Or does it just mean like a lower? 谪呢？言字旁的这个找到了。这个长得不像它是 It doesn't look like it's read 谪 at all. Demote a high official to a minor post in an outlying district, to banish or exile, to banish from the court, to be banished from heaven. Wait, hold on. Li Bai ascended to heaven and then was banished? There's a lot of Li Bai lore here that I did not know. This is all news to me. What is this? This is Li Bai lore drop. So 谢怜哥哥, I know, right? This is some TGCF ass storyline. Demoted god? 那卓越呢？哦，是卓越。Sorry, I'll stop yelling. I just got really excited. 卓 oh, to catch.
So is there lore of him catching the moon? This is some deep lore. Yeah, where's 花城哥哥? 花城弟弟 rather. I mean, he's 花城哥哥 to me. Okay. Anyway. Basically, this is the place where he fell into the water, rode a whale, became a god, and then it spawned a whole bunch of like famous locations, such as the Demoted God building or the Catching Moon gazebo. Because everybody like loves Li Bai so much, this place gradually became 旅游胜地, which is like a famous, popular place to travel to. That's the translation of like this whole segment. Where are the temples? Sammy's in YouTube chat is saying TGCF stands for Thank God Chinese Friday. Oh, thank God Chinese Friday. Oh, I'm gonna cry. I'm never gonna see TGCF the same way ever again. It's Thank God Chinese Friday to me from now on. Cheers to that, mate. Holy shit. For those wondering, TGCF stands for 天官赐福, which is Heaven Official's Blessing, which is a Danmei title series. No, actually it stands for Thank God Chinese Friday. I'm crying. Okay. Okay. Anyway, we gotta look into the Levi lore later, guys. Okay. I'm gonna keep reading. I want to make it through this story. 梅之焕来到梅之焕是那个 poet 吗? What am I? My convoluted Chinglish. I'm so sorry. What I was trying to say is 梅之焕 the poet from earlier? But I think I said 梅之焕是刚才那个 poet 吗? Chinglish brain. 梅之焕 Yeah, 梅之焕 is the guy. Okay. No. 人们用谪仙来形容李白才华。我读不来 Probe 不会读。等一下哦。陌生字可以的，我们在做 flashcard 就是。People use the term banished immortal to describe Li Bai because he's so talented that he's like an immortal who's been relegated to the mortal world. Oh! Doesn't that seem kind of like a backhanded compliment though? They're like, wow, this guy's so cool that it's like he was banished from heaven. Like, bro's really cool. He's gotta have been a like demoted deity. Must have gotten himself kicked out of heaven. Like, it seems backhanded to me. What are these notives? Sorry. Oh, okay. All good. 人们用谪仙来形容李白才华横溢。来，我们再做个 flashcard. Probe 这句写出来，我发现我读不会的话，我就马上做一个。Whenever Probe says a word I can't read, I'm just gonna make a new. Did I use the right 花? Yes. 哎呀，写的有点挤哦。写对了吗？对的。横溢，才华横溢。Spacing is totally off. 像是被下凡 as in down to normalcy. Because 凡 is like 凡人的凡, right? Okay. This one is 才华横溢。贬像是被贬下凡贬下凡哦，贬下凡的仙人，懂了。好，诶，我刚才做的那些 Yo, I lost my flash. Oh, I found them. The object permanence issues are so real. Okay.
贬谪. 贬谪 is a word. Okay, we're gonna make a flashcard. We're gonna make a flashcard from 贬谪. Like relegate, banish from the court. Okay. 贬谪. You know what? If nothing else, at least my stroke order is usually mostly on point. 贬谪. Alright, 又来一个. Your IAN words end up sounding French, like bien. Backhanded sounds like a direct compliment. The lore around like demoted celestial entities in Chinese mythology is sometimes quite derogatory, not always. But yeah. They could have said he was assigned down from heavenly court to educate humanity or something. Yeah, 贬谪 has a very negative connotation. Like it's very like banished, you know, like you did something bad. So it's a little, there may be different words for that kind of connotation. Okay, 继续. 好. 梅之焕来到李白墓前，本打算凭吊这一伟大的诗人。凭吊，搜一下。凭吊。 To visit a historical site and ponder the past. That won't fit here. Visit. I'm just gonna write visit and ponder. And then we're gonna make the flashcard right now. Ooh, I wrote that really ugly. That's like super ugly. You know what? I'm actually gonna scrap this one. It's bothering me. Redo. First try. That's only a little better. Okay. 平调. Press F. I'm just gonna write press F. Visit a historical site and ponder the past. I'm really enjoying, I think this dictionary is very good. I'm liking it a lot. Thanks for the recommendation, guys. Okay, we got 平调. 本打算凭吊这一伟大的诗人，却看到到处都是那些冒充风雅的文人写下的狗屁不通的诗句。This is so rude. Hey, you guys wanna... I don't know if it's an idiom necessarily, but it sure is a Chinese saying. 狗屁不通. 狗屁不通 literally means like incoherent, like a dog's farts. That's what 狗屁不通 means. Okay. Yeah. Great. So to translate, this poet, Mei Zhihuan, came to Li Bai's grave and was originally planning to like press F and pay respects, visit the historical site, ponder history, right? And like pay respects to this famous poet from history. And instead, the poet saw that all around this famous gravesite were these like 风雅 would be like tasteful. Hold on, 风雅, like literary. I won't make a flashcard for that. It's obvious enough to me, but I'll just write it down here. 冒充, so they're like pretending to be like well read and literary. These fake ass literati, and they're writing down like poems so incoherent they're like dog farts.
That's the literal translation of I'm not even literally 狗屁 is dog farts, okay? Cool. So 梅之焕心中气愤不已. So bro's mad. Bro's really mad. 感慨万千. 感慨万千. 等一下哦，感慨是什么意思？感慨 is with emotion. Like filled with many emotions, basically, is 感慨万千. 认为这是对伟大诗人的侮辱. 哎，侮辱? Wait, was it 侮辱 this whole time? I thought it was 侮辱, or is 侮辱 a totally different word? 侮辱. Wow, this whole time I thought it was 侮辱. 侮辱. Insult. Okay, guess I gotta study. Guess I need to fix it. Yes, Plico is the name of the app. Ooh, this one's gonna be hard to do in Sharpie. 侮辱. 侮辱. Okay, 有感而发，挥手写了这首诗. So basically, Bro got really mad, was filled with emotion, and then like out of nowhere just like wrote this poem from earlier. 其中的鲁班门前弄大斧，背后人叫做班门弄斧，讽刺那些在行家里手面前什么意思？卖弄本事的人。So, that's why we started with 李白, because the saying 班门弄斧 comes from this poem. And they simplified the poem sentence, which is 鲁班门前弄大斧. They took 鲁班门前弄大斧 and turned it into 班门弄斧, which is the forward saying here, which is basically saying like trying to flaunt your skills in front of the expert. 远在唐代的文学家柳宗元，在他为往事伯仲唱和诗，为王事伯仲唱和诗所做的序文中 ，What's a 序文 ？Is that like an essay？ 序文，搜一下哦，序文。Oh, a preface. 序文 is a preface or a forward. 来，又来陌生字了。How do you say flashcard in Chinese? 序文。Preface. Okay, so he like wrote a thing and it had a preface, and in the preface he wrote, 操斧于班，引之门，思强掩耳。引指令一位古代的操斧能手。Okay, so 操斧于班，引之门。思强掩耳。OK， 强掩是指后者，后者是指厚着脸皮的意思。Okay. So they like gave us the line that he wrote and then explained it. So the line he wrote is the 操斧于班，引之门，思强掩耳。As in, Ying is like a forge expert. So, basically like in the door of the like working the forge in front of the expert, is 脸皮厚，脸皮厚着脸皮 is like literally translates to like with thick skin on your face. But it's like, it's what you think. It's like thick skin, but in a negative connotation sometimes. R is desu. I really like that probe. I'm gonna write that. Okay. Yeah, my hiragana penmanship is horrible. This. Okay. 思这是 Yeah. I like that. 这是 Yeah. Discord notifs. Let me check them real quick. I think it's my friend who's booking the tickets. You're a godsend, TY. I check after stream. Okay. I'm going to Not Scary Farm. Yippee! Okay. So anyways, they disambiguated the phrase and then say, 看来班门弄斧这则成语在唐代就已经出现了它的雏形了。雏形 That's new to me. 雏形 Rudimentary, like a rudimentary form. Okay. Sorry, I didn't translate the line. So this last line, because again, this is a book for children and it cares about like the morals of these stories, they go at the end, they're like 看来 as in like now see, dude, now we see how is kind of like what the vibe is giving. So turns out 班门弄斧 is 班门弄斧 this 成语 is like has been around. Like you see the early models of this phrase as early as 唐代, so the Tang Dynasty. Okay. 雏形 and this is rudimentary form. Cool. Okay, our reflection box says 虚心的向行家请教学习，我们会进步很快。So 虚心 means to humbly. Humbly, this translates to if we humbly ask the experts to, or humbly ask to learn from the experts, we will improve faster. Okay, and then the 例句 here, example sentence. 我在各位专家面前谈论经验，实在是班门弄斧哇。So, translates to in front of the experts discussing our experiences, or my experience is very 班门弄斧. I am 班门弄斧 Ying. Oh no, Ying's being sent to live on a farm. Flashcard is 学卡. Okay, thank you. 学卡. 好嘞. 那我们今天复习一下. Let's go over the 3 stories that we went over today. Oh. Okay. Oh. I'll get there. We started with a very simple one, a very common one, especially amongst children, which is 拔苗助长. And 拔苗助长 told us the story of a lazy farmer who, when comparing his crops to his neighbor's crops, was like, damn, mine are not as good, but I don't want to put in the work. So instead of working on trying to get my plants to grow better and taller and faster, I'm just going to go out in the fields and yank them higher. And then in the process of trying to rush the process, he killed his crops. And so 拔苗助长 is the story of, like, the moral of the story of 拔苗助长 is to not rush like to trust the process and not rush it. And so you would use 拔苗助长 in a sentence such as 在孩子的教育问题上我们不能拔苗助长. So like when raising a child, we should not 拔苗助长, we should not rush the process. Okay. Second story that we read was 百折不挠, and this was telling the story of a guy called Qiao Xuan, or many stories of a guy called Qiao Xuan, where basically he was just like a really steadfast, resolute, Paulus is Moore's compass kind of a guy. The end connotation of all of these stories is that 百折不挠 literally translates to despite hundreds of setbacks, we do not fold, and it means It's like a descriptive term for being steadfast despite setbacks and has the connotation of standing on principle. And then the last one that we learned is 班门弄斧. And 班门弄斧 is this story told the story of the origin, which is it comes from a poem about Li Bai and his gravesite and like the fake literati that like surrounded his gravesite and tried to write poems, but they were all shit ass poems because they didn't know what the hell they were doing. And so 班门弄斧 is about flaunting your skills in front of the master and making yourself look like a damn fool. So you would use it in a sentence like, when discussing my experience in front of the experts, I am 班门弄斧. So those are our 3 chengyu from today. We also have a bunch of flashcards, 学卡 or 字卡. We have 字卡. Okay, I already forgot what this one is. 雏形, which means the rudimentary form. This is 序文, which is the preface. Oh my god, I literally don't know any of these words. 侮辱 is to like insult, right? Hold on, let me make sure I forgot to write the translation down for this one. 侮辱. Or to insult or humiliate. Insult, humiliate. Okay. And then this is 凭吊. 凭吊 is to like visit a historical site and press F to pay respects. Very spicy idiom. Let's do it, probe. 贬谪. Oh, did I not write the definition for this also? Am I dumb? 贬谪. It's to banish from the court. A lot of these words, even though they feel antiquated, I want to learn them anyway because I think they're good for watching like historical C-dramas. Oh god, so many messages. Okay, this is 才华横溢. 横溢. I don't know this word. I knew the others. 才华横溢. Hold on. Did I just forget to write a bunch of definitions? I'm glad we're reviewing these. What does it mean? 才华横溢. Exceptional talent. Okay. 才华横溢. 记 is this 记载? Yeah, 记载 is to record. Is this something 录? 贿赂 to bribe or a bribe. This is 支持 to support. 坚持 to endure. 忧虑 is to worry. And then is this 揭发 to expose. And this is 精疲力尽, which is working really hard. Okay, I don't know if Probe has that spicy idiom to suggest, but we can get to it maybe next time. Oh no, he got it. You can read its story here. 断袖之癖. Why is it spicy? Let me see. Um, 刘歆与董贤之间的故事. Oh, it's gay. It originally was for gay men. But now it's not specific to men or women. It's just like gay acts. I think, if I'm understanding this correctly. Is this the cut sleeve story? Is it? Tonvu, welcome to chat. Dong Xian 的父亲董公担任御史，董贤因此成为太子舍人。刘歆当皇帝之后 ，Oh, this seems like the cut sleeve story, yeah. Oh,
Oh, this is the cut sleeve saying. Because it's 断袖之癖. Ah, 之癖. It's a euphemism for homosexuality. Got it. Tells the story of the emperor Liu Xin was in bed with his lover Dong Xian and had to attend a court audience that morning, but not wishing to awaken his lover, who was sleeping with his head resting on the emperor's long robe sleeve, he used a knife to cut off the lower half of his sleeve. Yeah, the first documented them. All right. What a great stopping point. What a great way to ending on the cut sleeve story. I didn't know that was a chengyu, actually, the cut sleeve idiom. Oh, okay. Was that good? Do you guys want more of that? Should I keep this as a weekly segment? Should we do more of these? This book will last a while. There's a lot in here. Hold on. How many? If we average like 3 a stream, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is 15. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 4. 20, 30. There's 30. There's 30 chengyu in here. So that's 10 streams. That was awesome. It was good. Okay, perfect. Perfect. We will keep these going. I'll keep the weekly segment then. So we'll do chengyu tea times. I'm glad you guys are doing it, or enjoying it rather, and I'm glad I'm doing it. Perfect. Great stopping point. I will see y'all next time then, next weekly segment for the chengyu tea time. And let me do one last sip of today's tea. Cheers. It's TNT, guys. Thanks for the stream. It was great to cook to. I'm glad, Marissa. What did you make? All right. So next stream is going to be Friday night, my time, Saturday morning, Probes time. So if you're in East Asia / Southeast Asia, it'll be morning for you, and it'll be evening in the US-ish. So we're going to stream Peak together. And that's pretty much it for upcoming stream plans. I guess the next one would then be this next week, exactly 1 week from now. I want to keep this exact stream segment. Scallion pancake, Marissa, from scratch? That's awesome. I love making those from scratch. They're really fun. Okay, whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, have a wonderful time of day. Thank you for joining for our inaugural chengyu stream. And let's actually go find someone to raid. It's been a hot minute since I've raided people. I get so tired at the end of stream nowadays. I don't know what's wrong with my stamina, but it's a little different from what it used to be. Oh my god, wait, my friend is streaming. I have a friend who has recently started streaming a lot more. She's doing World of Warcraft. We met through Dungeons and Dragons, actually. We played at the same table together for like a full campaign and a half-ish. Now she still plays at my same DM's table, but on a different table, I believe. So, okay, her name's Carol. Why didn't the raid command work? Why didn't it work? Okay, this time it worked. Cool. So I'll see you all over in Carol's chat. Please be kind and welcoming to her. She is not new to streaming, but she is picking it up a little bit more. If you are a World of Warcraft fan, I hope you enjoy her stream. Now it's working, yes. If you would like, YouTube side, if you would like to join us, I'll drop the link for you all. D&D stories, I'd be super interested in hearing any of those. I don't have that many D&D stories. I'll think about it. Maybe there will be some fun stories to tell. I'll think about that. That's a good prompt. That's a very good prompt, Sammy. So I appreciate it. Today was a great stream, boss. Thank you very much. Welcome to chat also. I'm glad you enjoyed the stream. I hope to do many more of these. I think it's really working for forcing me to study Chinese. And I was really worried at first that it would be maybe a little beyond the skill level for a lot of people who are just starting out. But I think it's at just the right skill level for a lot of people who are maybe more intermediate like I am. So I hope it will hit enough people right in the correct niche, difficulty level wise. Okay, I'll see you all over in Carol's chat. Thank you very much, and see you maybe Friday, maybe Tuesday next week. Okay, bye-bye! Thank you for coming! Bye-bye! Bye! 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 Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye! Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye! Bye! Bye!